I'm Serota, I'm director of the TATE, and I've been at the TATE for a number of years, working with colleagues to develop the expansion of the TATE. So when we went originally to the site for TATE Modern, we always had the expectation that eventually we would increase the size of the museum. Every museum of modern art is growing all the time because you're growing the collection. Already we now have 15 years of collecting since we opened. Well, we originally thought we would do this in 2025, but now we do it much sooner. And we do it largely because the nature of art has changed so much. In the last 10 or 15 years, we see many more artists who are working in performance, in installation, and we need the space in which to show this work. Over the last decade, we have been organizing in the Turbine Hall a number of performances, sometimes dance like Merce Cunningham, sometimes artists making performance like Joan Jonas, or of course in 2012 we did, Tino Segal did These Associations. This was a big piece occupying the Turbine Hall over a period of some months, 100 days. And we want to find a way of doing this on a permanent basis. So now Catherine Wood is responsible for a department of a small number of curators who will program this work in the context of a collection, in the context of a museum. The TATE is a public museum. We don't receive money from government for purchases. We have to find all the money for purchases ourselves. If we want to make acquisitions, we have to find the money. This is wrong in my view, but this is a fact. So we also had the ambition to start collecting in different parts of the world. So in 2002, we began with a group of collectors from Latin America. We perceived that there would be a strong reason to make a strong collection of Latin American art in London. And fortunately, we had some patrons who were prepared to help us. Now, every year, there are about 40 or 50 patrons who have an association with Latin America. They each make a contribution. And then, as a committee, they listen to the curators, and the curators make recommendations. And then maybe every year we buy 2 or 3 pieces for the collection. But we don't make just a Latin American collection. We make a collection which we put integrated in the whole international scene. So these artists are not in a ghetto, they are part of the international dialogue. The skills for a director, they change all the time. You know, you have to be, the most important skill is to be passionate about art. And then probably the next most important skill is to be passionate about people. And especially the people who you are working with as colleagues. You have to give these colleagues the opportunity to work with the best artists. And then finally, probably you have to learn and you have to be able to work with artists. If you cannot work with artists, artists and art are the center of every museum. The artists are in the center of everything. If you don't have respect from artists, you don't have a museum. Because a museum is a tool from which artists learn about the art of the past, and it's a laboratory in which artists are making their own experiment. This is the whole purpose of a museum. It's a dialogue between the present and the past, and the artists are the instrument. It's the best.